Imagine a day where children are guided and nurtured in a way that honors their unique humanness. A day where, instead of being expected to change in order to fit in, children can be met right where they're at. Welcome to Where They're Planted, a podcast for parents and care providers of unique children. Caring for a child with a developmental, emotional, or behavior challenge, a neurodiverse brain, or difficult early life experiences can be confusing and exhausting. On this podcast, we'll help your child flourish and strengthen their roots by helping you not only understand them, but also gain the skills to help them bloom where they're planted. We'll use brain science, nervous system tools, collaborative strategy sessions, and a deep understanding of the developmental process to create a fertile environment around your child in order to nurture their growth. I am your host, Jen Bluske, an occupational therapist with over 25 years of experience and a parent coach. My most closely held title, however, is that of a single mom of 2 thriving adopted kids, so I have walked this walk. I am truly excited to share, teach, and dive into these important topics on each episode. Welcome back to Where They're Planted. I'm your host, Jen Bluske. Today's episode is a inspiration. I don't know how else to say it. Our guest today, Dr. Robert Naseef, and I discussed his unique intersection between being a psychologist and a father of an autistic son. We touched on the importance of seeing and honoring dads in the parenting experience, the grief that comes when you're parenting a neurodivergent child, acceptance and resiliency, the power of connection in creating healing with our kids, the need for community, the power of celebrating joy and diversity as a resistance movement, and so many other things. Our conversation today was insightful and deep, and it very much inspired me. I'm very excited for you to hear it today. Dr. Robert Naseef is a nationally recognized clinical psychologist, author, and speaker whose work has deeply impacted the autism and disability communities. As a father of an autistic son, he speaks not only as a clinician, but as somebody who truly understands the challenge and joys facing families from the inside out. He is the author of acclaimed books, including Special Children, Challenged Parents, and Autism in the Family, Caring and Coping Together, which have become essential reading for families and professionals alike. His TEDx talk, How Autism Teaches Us About Being Human, has resonated worldwide with its message of empathy, hope, and understanding. Dr. Naseef is actively involved in numerous professional and advisory roles. He serves on the panel of professional advisors for the Autism Society of America. His contributions to the autism community have been recognized with honors, including an award from Variety, the Children's Charity. Robert Naseef brings warmth, clarity, and heart to his writing, speaking, and clinical work, and places special emphasis on supporting families and male caregivers. Dr. Naseef is known for his deep insight, warmth, and ability to connect across professional and personal boundaries. Whether addressing clinicians, educators, or parents, he invites us to rethink what it means to support and include people with autism and other disabilities and each other. Robert has spent years doing something that isn't always getting the spotlight, which is creating space for dads to be seen, to be heard, and to be supported. So I am very excited for you to hear this episode today. All right. Welcome. It's so good to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So I'm really excited about this conversation and wanted to start with, I know that you wear 2 hats, one as a psychologist and one as a father of an autistic son, and just wanted to open up the floor to speaking about how those 2 worlds really influenced you and shaped what you're doing today.
Well, my son, I was a teacher at the time my son was born. I became a psychologist subsequently. So he's really been an inspiration to me in a lot of ways. But I think parents listening can probably relate to this. When he stopped talking and started pacing and stimming, like I just wanted to fix him. somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that. And in his own way, he taught me to accept him and open the door to like a different way of understanding the life I have and my life with him. So, I mean, I guess one way I think about this, and I wrote about it, was I wanted to change him and he wound up changing me. He wasn't the son I thought he would be.
Yeah, I love how you say that. And I know that your TEDx talk is titled How Autism Teaches Us About Being Human. What is the single most important thing that your son has taught you about being human?
Patience, patience and acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Father's Day is coming up. And when I think of the journey of fathers, and a lot of my work is with fathers, you know, no doubt that my father loved me. And when I was little, you know, he adored me. But as I got older, I wasn't quite who he wanted me to be. He didn't have patience with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in raising my son, when I started to lose my patience, I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm becoming my dad. And that was a pivotal moment
Mm-hmm.
when I realized I had to change. He didn't have to change.
Yeah.
A lot of what was going on went because he was not speaking, and he's still not speaking in his 40s. So I had to learn to accept him, or I don't know what the alternative would have been, you know?
Right.
But it gave me a different sense of just the value of human life, that it's not based on so much what we can do or how we look or how much money we have or what we achieve, but that there's a certain value and dignity and gift in life itself
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, I think I wasn't aware of, you know, that without words he could teach me and make me a better person.
It's so powerful, the mindset shift of what parenting brings to the table.
Yeah. And I guess I would also say I was frustrated with his therapist because they weren't teaching him to talk.
Uh-huh.
When I think of those early days, they were playing with him, right?
Yeah.
And he had, even though it was, well, autism was diagnosed like around 1 in 10,000 when he was 5 years old.
Yep.
So I didn't know anybody who had a kid with autism
Mm-hmm.
at the time. I mean, now we're talking about 1 in 31, I think it is.
Okay.
So, and, you know, I see people with autistic kids all the time everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to find community, but it's still isolating because having a child that's so different separates you from many of your peers.
Yes.
Your child doesn't fit in, and then you don't fit in as a family. So in that sense, a neurodivergent child, whether it's autism or ADHD or OCD, starts to separate you
Mm.
from the world
Mm-hmm.
and becomes a condition of the family. And what's the cure?
Yeah.
The cure is in understanding what our children can do and who they are and the value they have, and building community and being in community with like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. You speak about community. I know you do a lot of work with fathers, so much work with fathers, and you've run group sessions. Let's talk about that community aspect and why dads need their own space for this conversation.
It's a good question. So I think education and healthcare is sort of tilted toward women, who are most cases, the primary caretakers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying it shouldn't be.
Right.
I'm just saying it is.
It is. Mm-hmm.
And for men, and it's not that women don't want to fix problems, but for men, it's really hard to talk about problems we can't fix.
Yes.
And as much as I've learned that, I still never encounter a problem I don't want to fix. And sometimes, and I have 3 daughters, sometimes they just want me to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, Dad, just listen, just listen.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest lesson for men, is that sometimes we just need to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be enough. Or if we really listen, there might be an ask, or there might be some kind of conclusion of what can be done or not done.
Right.
But learning to listen about things we can't fix, have no power over, that's a tough lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And the journey I see fathers on, and to take it in a broader context, a lot of fathers don't go to all the meetings, but when they do, they are usually on the sidelines, not saying very much, not knowing what to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that to become engaged is really important. Anecdotally, so many families report, or couples actually in this situation report, when they're together, the meetings are more productive.
Hmm.
Sometimes the fathers are taken more seriously than the mothers, or just having 2 voices talking about the same thing. Like whatever it is, going as a team tends to yield better results, better understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And often, and it's a burden on moms who attend many of the meetings alone, as they then have to report what happened,
Yeah. Report back. Mm-hmm.
report back. And that might not be received well. It might not be good news, or it might not be welcome news.
Mm-hmm.
So I think moms are in a tough position with this as primary caretakers,
Mm-hmm.
and fathers often on the outside, and kind of underserved in the medical and educational systems as a whole.
Mm-hmm. How do you conceptualize, when you're working with dads? You just said it beautifully, just the differences. How do you conceptualize the support that dads need for their experience to be different, for the family experience to be different because of the shifts?
Well, I think fathers need a safe space where they can allow themselves to think and feel about this without fear of judgment. And to understand that, think about how most boys are still raised.
Hmm.
We're raised, and I mean, I can say this in a meeting. I said this in a meeting in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you remember being told big boys don't cry? And practically every male hand in the room went up.
Yep.
So we're taught to hold it in. The only socially acceptable feeling for men is anger or frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And the converse is true for girls and women.
Yep.
We're socialized in a way, and it's not our fault, but we're socialized in a way that makes communication about problems in particular difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So men, I mean, in the meetings, I could talk about like the ongoing group I co-facilitate now, and it almost never fails that a father will come for the first time, and it's the first time he's talked about this
Wow.
out loud, and starts to cry in the meeting and then apologize. And we're like, no, keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
We hear you. We hear you. And just what's healing is getting the sense I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not the only man that feels this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only man angry about my situation, frustrated. I don't know what to do with my child, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only one. And once you get past that and be in community with other dads, there's a lot that can happen, a lot of sharing that goes on.
Just think that's so powerful for any dads who are listening, who maybe nobody has ever said that to them, right? Like, you are not the only dad experiencing this experience of raising an autistic or a neurodivergent child.
And hearing it from another dad.
And hearing it from somebody who truly understands.
Right.
Who truly, yeah. who truly has lived it. Speaking about living your experience of parenting an autistic child, how have you noticed it's changed for fathers since you started down this journey with your son? Or has anything really changed?
I don't think the essence has changed.
Okay.
One thing, it is different that there's a huge community now. And also, as children are diagnosed, often one of the parents might get an evaluation, realizing, and I was just talking to a father this morning who he was seeing the need for an evaluation for his son, and he realized I had the same kind of childhood. I should get evaluated, you know? So there's more parents who are also neurodivergent being identified later, and particularly in late diagnosis, a lot of girls have flown under the radar.
Yes.
Because the presentation is different. And I'm talking about not just autism, but also ADHD, where women are being diagnosed in adulthood that probably could have been diagnosed in childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But as that happens, we now also have adults in the community that can be helpful to other parents and to their own kids who have similar characteristics. So it's not a change in how difficult this may be to accept, but it's a change in the community that once you're a part of that can be a powerful support. So in our fathers group, we get between 20 and 30 a month. And we have several dads who are also autistic and talk about it openly. And that helps the other fathers.
I think that's powerful. On a previous episode, we interviewed a father who went down that same path. His daughter got diagnosed, and through that process started his own diagnoses path. And, the mix between understanding and then a little bit of grief.
Oh, there's grief. And it's difficult because nobody died, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's an ambiguous loss.
Yeah.
This is not what you expected,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know the outcome. So how do you hold those possibilities while also feeling bad about your own child sometimes? That's a horrible feeling.
It's a tricky feeling. And, that kind of takes me into another topic that I know you speak about a lot is acceptance and resiliency. Let's talk about how you capture those two together at the same time.
Well, I think the most powerful question to ask oneself is when are things going well? And for parents, like, when am I enjoying my son or my daughter?
Yeah.
And if we focus on that, we get to the essential humanity.
Get to the good stuff.
We get past the grief and even past the ambiguity and into the love of the actual individual.
That's just it's so powerful, because when I, work with parents, there's such a focus, rightfully so, on the challenging times, right?
Yes.
And we miss so often the glimmers, the moments of joy, which is the true connection.
And that's where the growth can occur, ironically,
Mm.
And I'm sure you must see this, that the child that's hard to connect with, here's the rub. When you love somebody, you want to be with them. You want to spend time with them. You want to hang out with them. But what if your child is hard to connect with? That feeling is hard to get past. And this is particularly true with autism. Sometimes your child's hard to be with, hard to connect with, play with, enjoy doing an activity with. And the problem with that is, when we love somebody in a general way, when we love somebody, we want to be with them. We want to do things, talk, hang out, play. And when your child's hard to engage with, it feels really bad. It feels like why is this so hard?
Hmm.
And there's grief in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But when we, keep looking for what's going right and can figure ways to build on that and celebrate that joy,
Mm-hmm.
that heals the heart and it heals the relationship. So in some ways, the neurodivergent child, if the parents were expecting a typical child, let's put it that way, it disrupts the bond between mother and father, between the mother and child, and between the father and child. And the therapy and the growth and the acceptance is about healing the bond.
Yes. Yes.
It's all about that. And I remember being so frustrated with the therapist, like, you're playing with him. I want him to talk.
Yeah. I live this. Parents are like, why are you just playing? Why do I, let's get to the stuff. And I'm like, this is the stuff. These are the moments that is going to create the healing and the change. Mm-hmm.
The child's world's the world of play.
Yeah.
It was for us when we were little people, and
Right.
and it is for our kids. And so like in our fathers group, these become very powerful moments when these things get shared. There was a boy, I just love this particular story. There was a boy who was just constantly singing, and his father wanted him to stop repeating that song, but he wasn't listening to the song. And the boy's mom said, cut it out. He's singing. And once his father could accept that and celebrate that, the father was happy.
Yeah.
And the kid winds up singing in the choir at church in front of everybody. And so it went from what seemed like a repetitive problem behavior to something to celebrate.
A moment of joy. Yes.
Yes, great joy.
Absolutely. I love it.
Great joy. And it's an act of resistance against the prejudice that people who are different face. To celebrate difference is an act of resistance against the social pressures to conform.
Ooh.
So that's really in the big picture.
Ooh, that's powerful.
where I'm at. Where I'm at.
Can you say that again? I just need to wrap my head around that.
So celebrating the differences of neurodivergent children and adults is an act of resistance against the society that discriminates and marginalizes them and denies them the opportunities to a full life in so many cases.
And so in this world that we're living in right now, where it feels for some of us like we have very little choice or very little option, or things are challenging, a step can be celebrating.
Absolutely.
Our children, celebrating our differences in a joyful way when things feel heavy.
That's what gives me hope.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me believe, well, look, a better life's possible. A better world's possible. Okay. It's not happening now, but I want to do my piece, whatever that is.
And that is something every parent, every professional, anybody who's cued in this world can do today.
That's right.
It's a simple but incredibly powerful step. I love that.
To celebrate that joy, to connect with other people around it.
In the differences that each person brings.
Not that I don't enjoy a big enthusiastic protest.
I mean, there's a place for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's the micro level of human interaction that is so powerful and so necessary to communicate.
That is going to sit with me for a long time.
It's even more true for children of color.
Absolutely.
Who are further marginalized, or children with gender differences. who are also any marginalized group.
Right.
It's even more true for, but certainly true for everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, absolutely. You've trained professionals internationally all over the place. Let's talk a little bit about your professional work as we wrap up. What are you seeing still as the biggest misconceptions professionals have around autism in the family system?
Well, unfortunately, I see things going backwards under the current administration. But more what I've saw in my travels to other countries was that parents and families had the same questions that I had myself and that families I was working with here have. Like, what caused this? What can we do about it? Did the vaccines cause it? And that's now a live question again. So I more saw the similarities, and that people in other places were inspired by progress and what they'd read about the services here in the States, and that other countries were, doing their own version of an IEP. But again, in other countries, just like in the US, access is always an issue.
Absolutely. Now, your son is an adult, right? So you have transitioned from childhood to adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you wish somebody had told you earlier as a parent?
That your job's never really over. And I think it's true for typical kids as well as kids that are neurodivergent, or whether autism or something, another neurodivergence. It's your job's never done. They don't need you the same way, but your children still need you. I'm not sure there isn't something else that's maybe not as obvious, but that's really what comes up for me. Like how it's just ongoing, and even the political changes in the country have made it necessary for me to rethink some of the things we're talking about, and learn more about the history of disability rights and civil rights, and how our society has evolved, and what's the path out of this.
Right.
Nobody told me the services. Well, one thing I wish that I was learning all along the way is, as your child gets older, the services become harder and harder to find.
Yes.
And that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But we have to be resolute, and again, that's the power of community. People help each other, share resources with each other, share just what they do, how they live as families. So all of that.
Yeah. I mean, you could circle back to community, it's so powerful in this
Right. So
experience, in this society, in this human experience, community.
right. So we've grown up with European existentialism. I think, therefore I am. Whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Nietzsche, Camus. But in African culture, it's more like I am because we are.
Yeah.
Not I am because I'm the strongest, but I am because we together.
Yes.
We together.
Yes.
Want a better world. We together can be free.
I think that there's just so much power in spending some time thinking that through, and how we're embodying that or not in our daily lives.
Yeah. So what's our job as professionals? Who are we? Who do we want to be? Who do we need to be?
Yeah, to really support. So to circle back, specifically for dads, but for any parents listening who's really feeling that aloneness right now, what's one thing they can do right now in order to take a step?
Well, it might be a risk, but disappointment's part of the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
And just being able or taking a risk to share with someone that you trust what you're struggling with. Like I find myself that often if I'll take that risk, I find support.
Yeah.
If I'm willing to be open with someone I trust and care about, who I have confidence cares about me, then take a risk to open up a little bit and not just have a stiff upper lip or, but to open up a little bit and see what comes back. And I think you may find comfort and find support and just feel loved, actually.
Yeah.
Love is not in the romantic sense, but love is a revolutionary force in change.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. I love it. Where can people find you, follow your work, connect with you?
Our practice website is alternativechoices.com. My blog lives there. They can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. And we also have presence on Facebook as Alternative Choices.
Awesome. I will definitely link all of those in the show notes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this inspiring conversation. I know from my perspective, I'm feeling joy, a little hopeful. I'm feeling some hope.
Really?
For parents. Yes. I'm feeling some hope for parents when for myself as a parent and just for parents that I work with, that things can change, get better. So I really appreciate it.
Just that question, what's going right?
Yeah.
When's the last time? What do you do that you enjoy together?
Yeah.
Those questions open up a world of possibility.
Absolutely. And I don't think we ask it enough. And I think it's something that is a simple question to ask. It's a nice first step.
We get caught up in trying to solve all the problems.
Yeah.
We all do. It's human.
We all do. It's just human nature, and connection is the key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thanks for your time as well. And I'll look forward to seeing this, and I'll share it myself.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, Jen. Bye-bye.
If you're the kind of parent who listens to a podcast like this one, you're already doing the work. You're reflective, you're intentional, you want more than just surviving the hard days. You want to actually understand them. That's exactly what Deepening into Parenting membership from Thriving Parents Collective was built for. Deepening is a virtual community for conscious parents, especially those raising neurodivergent, intense, or highly sensitive kids who are ready to go beyond the basics and actually embody what connected parenting looks like in their real lives. It is rooted in neuroscience, shaped by lived experience, and led by Jen Bluske and Shannon Stuckey, two occupational therapists and parent coaches with over 40 years combined experience. Members get bi-weekly in-depth teaching, Q&A, guest speakers, access to a regulation center full of nervous system tools, and 20% off one-on-one coaching. Parenting is not meant to be done alone. Head on over to thrivingparentscollective.com to learn more and get on the interest list. Link is in the show notes. Where They're Planted is a Lit Path Studios podcast and is produced by Jamie Gale and Jen Bluske. Music is by Gaston Reen and Pod 5. Thank you for loving your child right where they're planted.